Welcome to On the Couch with Marcia M, the show where we talk about real issues with real people. Today we're talking about the subject, am I black enough? That's a question to ask. I've got Christine with me and also Amy.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay. Christine, welcome. Now we've been on a journey, haven't we?
We have indeed, yes.
Yeah. Firstly, I know that one of your names is Spence, like myself.
Yeah.
So we've been on a bit of a journey, just looking at our identities and checking out, are we related?
I know. But let's be, yeah.
Yeah.
Could be.
We could be.
Yeah. We just
We really
don't know.
could be.
Yeah, we just don't know.
Okay. So, but then another part of the conversation that we've had is around identity and identity as black women. So Christine, just for you to share really your journey, and particularly since we met and some of the experience since we've met
Yeah,
on this journey.
I attended one of your courses,
Mm-hmm.
and when I walked into the room, it was a room full of black women.
Mm-hmm.
And although I don't necessarily see myself as being black, I don't see myself as being white either.
Okay.
So it was almost like, where do I fit in?
Okay.
So it was a bit uncomfortable on my part, not by anybody else's, it's
Yes.
just my opinion. Because growing up, now it's 5.
Are you of dual heritage?
Yeah, my mum's Irish, my dad's Jamaican.
Okay.
My nan was a racist. She was racist,
Yeah.
but she came around to my dad and accepted my dad.
Okay.
But she was
Eventually.
yeah, but she was racist about everybody. So
Yeah.
Irish, Welsh, Scottish. It didn't matter. It wasn't.
So what about when it came to you then?
She says that's what I'm saying. She was very. She just had one of those attitudes growing up.
Yeah.
But we never thought about it. So my mum, the Irish one, was more into the reggae and the
Okay.
black food, whereas my dad was more country.
Okay.
You know, that's his thing. And even now, my mum likes the music, my dad's not into music.
Mm-hmm.
So growing up, it was very much some days I'd be more black, some days I'd be more white.
Mhm.
My mum didn't cane row my hair, but growing up I had my hair cane rowed.
Okay.
Every 2 weeks I had my hair washed.
What, you'd go and get someone to do?
My mum's friend would go and do
Okay.
it, so that was, I had to sit there and have my hair cane rowed.
That was a black woman?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was like, growing up, it was very much, I liked certain things. It was a conversation I talked to my sister. When we were little, she was very dark.
Mm-hmm.
Now she's got older, she's got lighter.
Yeah.
But I was probably one of the most pale in the family.
Mhm.
Her hair was curly, mine was more afro. So it was, because we're mixed,
Yeah.
you never know what you're going to get.
Mm.
My brothers had like light brown hair.
Okay.
And then me having children, again, it's like another mix.
Yeah.
I've got my eldest is very dark,
Mm-hmm.
with very tough hair. Then we've got Caitlin, who you've met, who's
Strong hair.
who's very pale with a long
Straight hair.
straight hair.
Mhm.
And then it goes to mixed brownie and then dark. So it's all that
whole
mix.
combination.
And so because of that, it's how do I fit in? Where do I fit
Okay.
in? I had a conversation with a friend who happens to be mixed. Her mix is different though. So her mum's got Scottish and Greek, and her dad's Jamaican. And we were talking, and it's like almost you're not white enough to be white, but you're not black enough to be black. So where do I fit into it? How do I fit in?
Mm.
You know, I walk into a shop and how do I feel when I see black people coming towards me, white people coming towards me? I have had the racist comments from the older generation tends to be more so
Mhm.
than my generation, and even the
From
younger generation.
Black people? You get racist? Who did you
yeah.
get the comments from?
I was on the bus and this black guy came up and he's like made some comments about, you shouldn't be here and you're watering us down and that sort of.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm.
So you feel uncomfortable then because it's like, well, it's not a case of you don't ask to be born at the end of the day, do we? And my children brought up to be comfortable in their skin.
Mm-hmm.
My son's dad, the children's dad wasn't around when they were growing up, but since he's been in there,
And is their dad black?
their dad's black.
Okay.
But my son, since spending time around him, his identity is, he's very much now, in the last 6 months, I'd say, I'm black.
Okay.
And he's proud.
Okay.
And it's a lot to do with understanding where you come from, because culturally, we come from both cultures.
Yeah.
I've never been to Jamaica. I have been to Ireland, but one day I will go to Jamaica.
Yes.
But my thing is more to do with the insects than anything else. My sister's been, a couple of my brothers have been, and I want that experience. And I will
have you been anywhere else abroad? To Spain?
Yes. Yeah, I want to go to Spain.
No difference.
I don't do flight, you see.
No difference in insects in Jamaica.
No, see, my sister went and stopped with family.
If you stay in a resort.
No, see, I'd do that. I'd do the whole.
Okay.
But growing up, that wasn't an option. It was
okay.
stopping with family.
Okay. Okay, so your son's accepted.
He's proud.
He's proud to be black.
He's.
Yeah. Okay.
Because.
And are you proud that he's proud to be black?
I'm proud that he's got his identity.
Okay.
He's got autism.
Okay.
And so growing up, he always thought he was different because he was black. Because he was like, I'm darker than you, so therefore that's the reason why he's different. I'm very much, he needs to know both sides.
Okay.
So yes, he's black, but I also think that he needs to embrace both parts of him because that's what makes him him.
And what are the both parts? Dad's black.
Yeah,
Mom's black.
I see myself as being mixed. I do see myself as being mixed. Predominantly more black.
Yeah.
It's a conversation I had with Dave, and I said, "What do you see?" He said, "I see a strong black woman."
Yeah.
But then I talk to my white friends, and they just say me, so they don't see colour. So
they see you as white, Christine?
No, they don't. It's not white, not black. It's not.
Are they white?
They're white.
But you have no colour.
It's not. No, they. I see where you're coming from, but they don't see me as being a certain way.
As being black.
Yeah, they don't see me as being black.
Got a bit of a tan.
They're jealous of that. A lot of people are jealous of that. They're like, oh, we wish that we had that
your
look.
colour.
Yeah, and your complexion. And,
yeah. Interesting.
But yeah, I don't see. But as getting older.
So I was going to say though, but Christine, but then for you, walking into that room, coming onto the course that I was running, and it was filled with black women.
Yeah.
You said you felt
out of place.
Okay.
Not because of anything anybody did,
but
but just
that.
me.
Yeah.
And then it was a journey. Not accepting is the wrong word because I've accepted who I am and I know who I am, but it was embracing that strength and being proud to be who I am.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's so complicated. That's definitely something that I use, a term that I use, that being black is really, really complicated. And my family historically are from Jamaica. And, you know, the motto for Jamaica is out of many, one people. So I know from my heritage that we are mixed race people having children with mixed race people having children with mixed race people. So, and that was something I tried to explain to you as well, Christine. So being of Jamaican heritage for myself, I totally, when I met you, I embrace you as exactly the same as any member of my family. Really, really complicated. Amy, let's bring you into the conversation. Now, I'm aware that you are East Caribbean UK. Yeah. Yet you were brought up in a white grandmother, white mother, didn't really know any black people.
Yeah.
So what's your journey been to becoming now representing a Caribbean country? And which country did you represent?
I represented Antigua and Barbuda, which is my father's side.
Okay.
So I guess it started from when I was younger. I was brought up by my grandparents. And my story is a little bit different in the sense that not only was my dad was black and my mum was white. My actual grandmother who raised me, she actually wasn't my biological grandmother either. Okay. So my family's quite a bit dysfunctional, you could say. It's not your normal family. So my mum was adopted. My aunt was adopted. And I guess my uncle wasn't my biological uncle.
This is your white family?
Yeah, this is one of my white family. So literally, I guess I was brought up in a white environment who weren't actually my parents.
You
my
weren't
grandparents.
actually blood relatives?
Yeah.
Wow.
So again, I think I had difficulties as well. And not really that it stopped me from doing anything that I wanted to do throughout my life, but it was something that I guess when I was growing up, they didn't teach me the other side of what it means to be black and white. So because my father wasn't around, and then I found out that both my sides didn't get on, and they just, you know, the typical, you know, I was born in the 80s, and around that time, black people and white people just didn't get on, and they hate each other's guts. And the thing is, they say that they're not racist towards
within
each other.
your environment.
Yeah, and it got to a point where when I was growing up, that I enjoyed being around other cultures. So, and really sport was a way that embraced me with other people.
When you say other cultures?
So, like,
you mean
people
other
from
than white?
Yeah, so people from the black community, and that was, and really being in athletics, there was, I mean, it's.
Were you a Birchfield Harrier?
Yeah, I was.
Harrier.
So for me, I travelled, because I live in Bournville, so I travelled all the way to the other side, and you can imagine, like, it was a bit of a shock, because originally I'd gone to Halesowen Athletics Club, which wasn't as many black people there, and I did find out actually one of the reasons why they didn't take me to Birchfield was because there was too many black people there.
That's where you found it.
Yeah, and they were just scared that it was just not the place for me to go. But I got to a stage where, because I was of certain ability, I had to move on. And
do you think that's because you were black?
Yeah. I'll secretly say that I'm grateful, I'm blessed that my dad gave me the genes that I have, because you know, I wouldn't have got to the place that I've been to. I'm absolutely thrilled to have been to.
Where have you reached?
I've competed at international level at the Commonwealth Games, and just those experiences being on an international stage, they exposed me to compete against people from all over the world, and it helped me to integrate as well. So I remember being at the World Juniors, and you know, you've got the Jamaican team and the Trinidad and people, Africa, Asia, everyone. And the thing is, it's so nice that you get to integrate with all kinds of people. And then after that, I got to a point in my life where I decided to be a full-time athlete, made some life decisions, moved to America, and that was kind of another stepping stone in my journey, where I met one of my long-term boyfriends who actually was from the Caribbean. And a lot of my teammates were from Jamaica, Trinidad, Bahamas, because America is known for bringing in like athletes from all over the world, and then they go on to be some of the best athletes. So that was my opportunity to embrace other cultures. And I remember it was one day we all had to wear our kit. So you had some of my friends wearing their Jamaican kit, St. Kitts and Nevis and Trinidad, and you know, you get that question of I'm wearing my GB kit, but they can see that I'm not white, so where's your heritage? And the horrible thing is, I used to tell people, because I'd been told that, oh, you're Jamaican. So I just assumed that I'm Jamaican, and tried to embrace it, and being around other people, I tried to learn as much as I could. And it wasn't till I was with my boyfriend that he said to me that, I think you need to reach out and find your dad and learn, because it seems that you're starting to struggle. Because when I was there for 5 years, it was when I was completely away from my family. I had no family out there. When you were in the States? Yeah, so I literally was out there by myself. And it might sound horrible, but it was actually the best time of my life.
You were free to be yourself.
Yeah, and it was where I actually...
A black woman.
Yeah, it was where I actually became who I was supposed to be, and and I was able to reach out, and that was when I made the step to reach out to him. I think this was in 2011, and it just was a bit of a shock, because when I reached out to him, you don't know what to expect. And I found out that he knew I was in America, He knew I'd been to...
This is your father?
Yeah, he knew I'd been to several championships.
So what he'd been doing, following you or something?
Yeah, so he'd got news, he'd seen me in the newspaper, he'd followed me, he even claimed that he still knew where I lived. So to me that kind of was a bit, it made me angry, only because that you know where I am, despite all the problems between you and my family. I feel that you should have made the effort. And when we had a conversation, one of the conversations we had was, he made it as though I needed to prove myself to him.
Right.
And that I needed to show him that he could trust me.
Wow.
And there's certain things he would say which might be touchy, but he would say things like, well, you're half white, so I can't trust you for now, but we'll see.
Wow.
Things like that. So it kind of like stuck with me.
So you had the experience of growing up.
Yeah.
A white, quite racist.
To a certain extent, it wasn't
Or
verbally.
ignorant?
Yeah, it was kind of like they just tried to push it aside, and it kind of like it wasn't. There was an issue there, but they didn't want to address it, and it was kind of the attitude of, well, it's that ignorant of you're mixed, but you shouldn't act like you.
Don't act like you're black.
Yeah, or act like you don't know who you are, just because you're
one of us.
Yeah, you know, they didn't see the understanding of that. You need to know, like, from different cultures, because at the end of the day, black communities, white communities, they grow up totally differently, and it's not the colour of your skin. The most important thing is just the way, the beliefs, morals, culturally, just things that black people like to enjoy. And you know, I think that's part of being black, and knowing that. And
you were starting to discover that, but then you had your black father saying, I don't trust you because you're part white. And where do you think he was coming from with that? Experiences. What was the experience?
I mean, it was probably coming from a place of which
ignorance as well.
Yeah, and I guess the arguments that had gone on between both families, and you only get told, well, he would tell me one side of the story, they would tell me the other side of the story, and it got to a point where I tried, probably for about 2 or 3 years, it mentally was tough for me, and it drained me, and I got to a point where I needed to say, well, I might just have to let this one go, and not in terms of not embracing who I am, because I've made the decision of, just because you don't accept me doesn't mean the rest of my family will. So I reached out to his aunt, and who is lovely. She's a really nice lady who works in London, and then I guess in 2014, that was when I just thought, you know what, this is my opportunity to try and represent where the other side of myself, and it was a long process, got there in the end, and that was my chance to go to Antigua, and I found out, I got to meet some of my family, which was actually really amazing. And the thing is, the most important thing is that... Did you go with
your father?
No, I literally flew over by myself, because I was actually going over for the championships. But during that time I was there for about 2 weeks, so I was able to, because the thing is in the Caribbean, it's a tiny island, everybody knows everyone, and they're so welcoming. So the family that I stayed with, they were like, yeah, we know where your family's from, took me to the village, and it was just really nice just to see, because Antigua is still a third world country, it's still developing, but even so, you need to understand where your family comes from, your roots, and how they grew up, and
So would you recommend to Christine to go to Jamaica?
Yeah,
I will go.
Yeah, it's one of those things that it's not just about going there and just relaxing. You need to understand and see the culture, and for me that's what made it. Yeah, and it was just, it gave me a better understanding, and again, the things that he would say is that, oh, I'm not sure if I can tell them about you or this and that, and
Tell who about you? His family.
Family, yeah. So it just was a bit confusing when I met family members in Antigua
They
who
just
embraced me,
yeah.
and it wasn't an issue at all. And then I just carried on and competed for Antigua and never looked back since. Yeah.
So previously it was just Great Britain.
Yeah, and I get this question all the time of why did you switch, this and that, like you should stay true to GB but the thing is, you don't know my story.
Yeah.
You don't know what I've been through, and it's not like it was I had a choice.
Yeah.
And I'm proud to represent Antigua, and regardless of if he accepts me or not, this is who I am. And
it's wonderful.
And and then really from there, that was where I it was 2015, last year, where I was supposed to go to Pan American Games to compete for Antigua. And that's when I picked up an injury, wasn't able to go. And during the time where I would have competed, that was when the heats were for Miss Caribbean UK.
Okay.
So it kind of all fitted together. It was. I took the opportunity of, well, I can't compete for Antigua on athletic basis. Yeah. So why not try something else that it's totally out of my comfort zone, and you kind of know me. I'm very competitive and I like new challenges. So I thought, why not? And then was fortunate to make the final and come out on top. So
fantastic.
And again, that was an opportunity to feel like I belonged and actually say, regardless of my skin colour or what I've been through, I feel accepted, and it kind of like
so would
filled
you
the
say
chapter.
that you are a black woman, or are you a Caribbean woman? How would you identify yourself?
I'd still say I'm mixed race. But at the same time, I don't want people to look at me and say that you're just black or you're just white. I'd probably from the things that I like in terms of like my music choice, the food that I like to eat, and typically the men in my life. I can't. I'm sorry. I have to admit. So
I know. I'm the same.
So they just do it for me. So I'd probably say I tend to maybe go towards the black side. So
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay, Christine. So moving forward now. You've been on the course, spent time with all these black women. You're married to a black man too.
I know.
Okay, right.
I know. I'm not going to live that one down.
So how do you identify yourself?
So I'm like you. I'm proud of both sides.
Okay.
But I am predominantly more black in my ways. Talking at home, Dave will speak power. Just I get an understanding of it, and then sometimes.
How did you meet me?
That's from the radio. Listen.
And what radio?
I only listen.
You want to say what radio, but you
I only listen to black radio stations.
Exactly.
I have to. My music choice. I haven't got a wide selection, but if I'm really feeling black, by what I'm listening to.
Okay.
If I'm, it's reggae, it's lovers, it's R&B, and it is a case of it moves you.
Okay.
I think that's probably fundamentally the difference between someone who
you love black music.
You can't. It's just there, isn't it? It's something that's part of you. Music is part of you.
Yeah.
It's like doesn't matter where you are. Me and my little boy, he's nearly 3. Music's on, and he's there, and he couldn't walk, and he was dancing. So it's part of an indelible part of you. I'm black.
And guess what, ladies? I'm black too. Okay, fantastic. Okay, we've been on the couch. We're talking about, am I black enough? Well, I'm going to declare we 3 are definitely black enough. Identity is definitely a journey. It's a choice. It can be a conscious decision you make, or sometimes unconscious, where it's just your hereditary genetic makeup that draws you to who you really, really are. You've been watching On the Couch with Marcia M, with my guests Amy and Christine. Thank you.